July 7th, 2016, 11:25 a.m. Singapore. A man in a grey hoodie walks into a bank. He approaches a female teller. No sudden movements, no visible weapon, just a piece of paper. He slides a handwritten note across the counter. The scene unfolds without panic. The teller remains composed. She hands over tens of thousands of Singapore dollars. The man calmly takes the cash, walks out the door, and vanishes into the bustling streets. No security guards intervene, no sirens sound, no panic erupts. By the time police finally arrive, the robber is already at the airport, gone. This is the story of how one man robbed a bank in one of the safest countries in the world using only a piece of paper, and how he almost got away with it. David James Roach was a 26-year-old Canadian engineering student who had been backpacking across Asia since 2015. He had no criminal record when he arrived in Singapore on 29th of June 2016. But this visit wasn't about sightseeing or food. Roach had something else in mind. Over the following days, he blended in effortlessly with the city's flow of backpackers, wandering the streets, booking hostels, moving unnoticed. But beneath the surface, he was studying something very specific: the Standard Chartered Bank branch in Holland Village. Let's pause for a moment because you need to understand just how audacious this plan was. Singapore is one of the safest countries in the world. Bank robberies, practically unheard of. The last one, way back in 2004. This city runs on precision. An elite police force, strict laws, and CCTV cameras everywhere. Step out of line here, and you're likely caught on camera in seconds. Yet, within this fortress of security lies Holland Village, a trendy, affluent, packed with cafes, boutiques, and expats. The kind of place where people don't just feel safe, they expect to be. And right in the middle of it sits Standard Chartered's branch. Modern, open plan, modest security presence. It operates under a simple truth: nobody robs banks in Singapore. But David Roach saw what few dared to consider. While pretending to be a tourist, David spent days meticulously studying the bank's operations. He memorized employee routines, identified blind spots, and mapped out potential escape routes. This wasn't a reckless act. It was a meticulously planned operation. By the 6th of July, Roach was rotating between budget hostels, staying out of the spotlight, and keeping his movements unpredictable. Then came July 7th. It was time. Thursday, July 7th, 2016, 11:25 a.m. The Standard Chartered Bank branch in Holland Village was operating as normal. Another calm weekday morning in one of Singapore's safest neighborhoods. David James Roach is entering the bank wearing a grey hoodie and cap, dressed casually enough not to draw attention, but concealed enough to make later identification more difficult. His appearance wasn't particularly suspicious for Singapore. The country's tropical climate means air-conditioned buildings are often quite cool, so wearing a hoodie indoors wouldn't necessarily stand out. Roach moved with quiet confidence. No sudden gestures, no signs of panic or hesitation. He waited in line like any other customer, calm and composed. When it was his turn, he stepped up to a female teller and slid a handwritten note across the counter. It read, "This is a robbery. I have a weapon. Give me money. Don't call the police." Bank staff worldwide are trained to prioritize safety over resistance in such situations. The protocol is clear: comply and de-escalate. The teller, following her training, remained composed. She read the note, glanced up at Roach, and began counting out cash from her drawer. At Roach's request, she placed 30,450 Singapore dollars into an envelope. No alarms were triggered, no raised voices. To anyone nearby, it appeared to be a routine transaction. Roach took the envelope, placed it into his bag, and exited the bank as calmly as he had entered, just a few minutes after he walked in. In many countries, silent alarms would promptly alert authorities. Security personnel would secure exits, and police units would be dispatched within moments. However, in a nation where bank robberies are exceedingly rare, the immediate response mechanisms appear to have gaps. By the time the alarm was activated, Roach had already exited the bank, calmly walking away from the scene. Demonstrating both audacity and composure, Roach swiftly changed his appearance after leaving the bank. He removed his cap and distinctive outerwear in a nearby alleyway, effectively altering his look. Subsequently, he proceeded to a nearby cafe. There, he spent around 6 quiet minutes blending in with the crowd, ordering a slice of cake and a bottle of water, as if nothing had happened. After his brief cafe visit, Roach continued with his escape plan. He took a cab from Holland Village to Changi Airport. Immigration records confirmed that Roach boarded an Air Asia flight to Bangkok, departing at 2:40 p.m., less than 3 hours after the robbery. Notably, he used his own passport, making no attempt to conceal his identity. Within hours, Singaporean authorities had compiled a comprehensive profile of the suspect. CCTV footage from multiple sources, including the bank, the cafe, and surrounding streets, captured clear images of Roach during moments when his disguise was altered. Digital forensics teams enhanced these images, creating identification materials that were disseminated to regional law enforcement agencies. David James Roach's freedom was short-lived. Just 2 days after the robbery, on July 9, 2016, Thai police, acting on intelligence from Singapore authorities, stormed a hostel in Bangkok. There, they found the 26-year-old Canadian in possession of nearly all the stolen cash, around 30,000 Singapore dollars. What should have been a straightforward international arrest quickly became legally complicated. Singapore issued an arrest warrant and formally requested Roach's extradition. But there was a catch. Singapore and Thailand did not have an extradition treaty. Still, Thai authorities weren't about to release him. They cancelled his visa and placed him in immigration detention. Meanwhile, Canada, which had an existing extradition agreement with Thailand, also made a move to have their citizen returned. In an unexpected twist, Thailand decided to prosecute Roach under its own laws. He was charged for failing to declare more than $20,000 in cash upon entry, a violation of Thai currency regulations. Roach pleaded guilty and received a 28-month sentence, later reduced to 14 months. Thai authorities confiscated the entire 30,000 Singapore dollars left. In the end, Roach served time without profiting a single cent from his crime. After serving his prison sentence in Thailand, Roach boarded a flight back to Canada in January 2018. But during a stopover at London's Heathrow Airport, he walked into the arms of British authorities. Singapore's arrest warrant was still active, and they had requested his extradition. What followed was another lengthy legal battle. Roach's legal team argued against extradition, citing Singapore's use of judicial caning, which some Western nations consider inhumane. To secure his extradition, Singapore assured the UK Roach would be spared caning. With that, a judge approved it in August 2018. After exhausting appeals by February 2020, Roach was finally extradited the following month, nearly 4 years after the robbery. On July 7, 2021, almost 5 years to the day after the incident, Roach was sentenced to 5 years in prison and 6 strokes of the cane, though the caning was later waived as part of the diplomatic agreement. The stolen money, confiscated in Thailand, was never returned. In the end, David James Roach's calculated crime cost him his freedom and left behind a trail of international legal drama that made headlines worldwide. He gained nothing but time behind bars and a place in Singapore's criminal history. Let us know your thoughts in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe for more stories. Thanks for watching.